Mychael Schnell, House reporter with our partners at The Hill. Mychael, thanks for talking to us this Friday. What kind of impact is this going to have on Senate committees, which, a lot of voters probably aren't immediately thinking about?
It's extremely important when we talk about the makeup of Senate committees in the next Congress. So as Congress currently stands in the 50-50 Senate, the number of Democrats and Republicans on those Senate committees are evenly split, which sometimes makes it a little difficult for Democrats, even though they technically have the majority of the chamber with the vice president's tie-breaking vote. It makes matters a bit difficult for them. So if Senator Warnock is reelected this month and he's able to hold that seat, that would give Democrats a 51 to 49 majority in the chamber. But more important, but arguably very importantly, it would give them a majority on those committees, which gives them significantly increased power in the chamber. One example of that is for the Senate Judiciary Committee. When it comes to confirming President Biden's judicial nominations, they will be able to do it seamlessly, very easily, with that majority on the committee. So even though Democrats right now, as the races currently stand, have that majority regardless of what happens in Georgia because of the vice president's tie-breaking vote, it's still a very important race in terms of what can actually get done on Capitol Hill in the next Congress.
All right, so we still have to get the results of this race Tuesday, but of course we always look to the future. So let's look ahead to the 2024 presidential election. How would a Warnock win change how, political pundits really view Georgia? Because of course it was once a reliably red stronghold.
For a while, it was a really reliably red stronghold, and then we saw that sort of be chipped away a little bit when President Biden won the state in 2020, and then when Warnock and Senator Jon Ossoff went on to win their election. So I think it would just add to that narrative that Georgia is moving away from a really far-right state, and when I say far-right, I mean very Republican, that ruby red state, and moving a bit more to the middle. But I will note we can't take that too far yet, because it is important to remember that Governor Brian Kemp, he easily won re-election this year against Democrat Stacey Abrams. He beat Abrams by about 7.5 percentage points. So while we're seeing some races trend in Democrats' direction in Georgia, Republicans still have a hold on a number of races in that state.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And so let's talk about Herschel Walker. How would a Walker win or loss impact President Trump's re-election campaign? Because we also know that many of his endorsed candidates did not win.
A win from Walker would certainly give former President Trump a bit more clout ahead of this 2024 bid for president. As you mentioned, some of his hand-picked candidates did not perform as strongly as anticipated in Senate and House races. So a win from Walker, who Trump hand-picked, endorsed, has been fundraising for, would likely give President Trump a boost as he heads into that 2024 campaign. But still, I don't think that pundits and other Republicans and just voters in general will forget about how his other hand-picked candidates did. For example, Mehmet Oz in Pennsylvania and some others across the country. So it could help him, but in the grand scheme of things, it's only one race.
All right, Mychael, thank you for that. Have a great weekend. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.